clash of styles, but it actually was a majority draw. You and I just rewatched the fight again without the commentary, just watching it, and I ended up scoring it like I did the first time, 48-47 for Tyron Woodley. A terrific fight. By the way, McGregor won $50,000 for performance of the night, or the amount of money he finds in between his pillows or underneath his car seat. And then Woodley and Thompson, no surprise, the fight of the night. Break it down for us, boss.
All right, well, round one, Woodley, time to kick. To take Thompson to the ground, and then he was all over Thompson. There was a few things that I didn't get. Thompson sometimes had an open half guard. He was in the half guard the whole time, and I thought, why is he not escaping the half guard? And then I realized maybe it's easier for Thompson to escape from the side mount. So that's probably he felt comfortable in half guard, and that's why he stayed there.
What about Woodley, though, always backing up along the fence? It seemed to help him at times, maybe. What was he trying? What do you think about it? I know Joe Rogan wasn't a fan, and traditionally you wouldn't be a fan, but was there a method to the madness?
Yeah, I think that maybe that he lures him in, lets him throw a big kick, and then shoots in like he did in round number one. So it could have worked for him. Magdaleno, last week I was talking on the podcast about it against Donaire. And Magdaleno was doing like that. Every time he was in the corner, I go, what is he doing in the corner? But then Donaire, when he threw a big punch, boom, he was out of the corner again. And Woodley was doing exactly the same thing. So I think he did it kind of to lure him in.
So you had the first round for Woodley.
Yeah,
we both agreed 10-9. Round two.
Round two, Thompson, he didn't kick for the first 3 minutes. Yeah, maybe one kick. And, of course, he didn't do that because the first round he got taken down with that kick. He tried to spinning back to the body, didn't really connect, but then slowly but surely strikes started to land more and more from Thompson. But it was at the end. So this was a very, very close round.
I had a 10-10.
Yeah, that could have been a draw that round, right? Now, number three, Woodley tried a few low kicks, but is kicking upwards a bit with his kick. He needs to turn in a little bit more because he's spreading out the impact from those kicks. And you have to watch out because if they don't have impact, they might be countered with big strikes. And then Tyron gives a real good inside low kick coming from the back leg, and you saw really Thompson falling on that kick.
Yeah, but what about the switching stances of Thompson? I thought in that third round he began to really establish that left hand.
And that's a great thing what Thompson does. Like, for instance, he stands in orthodox position when Woodley moves to hit for Thompson to his right. Once Woodley starts moving to the left, you see him switching stance because then he can lure him into the power left kick or the power left hand.
And Thompson has that open karate stance.
And the open karate stance, and especially like Machida does it even more, but he also is... They almost stand in one line. I was just talking about it with the McGregor fight, right? I mean, low kicks is the answer, but nobody switches stance. With Aldo and McGregor, if that would have happened, I would have said, okay, let's train you now for 6 months in southpaw position. You're going to have to kick that front leg because the way he stands, it's going to be very hard to block. You have to set it up, though.
So we gave Thompson the round in the third round, 10-9. And then came a fantastic and wild fourth, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, once Woodley, he raised a big punch, boom, rocked him, then landed another shot and went to the ground, and he went to town. They could have stopped the fight there, but since it's a title fight, great refereeing here, by the way. They didn't stop the fight, going for the guillotine. It was very close to get the guillotine, but if you look at the footage like we just did, you see there's one vein still open on the side of the neck.
On the left side of Thompson, where that arm in, where there's an opening, there was that.
That's it.
The pressure was alleviated there.
Some people try to just lift like a guilotine, but he also should have pulled to the right, pulled the head into the body, so that side also gets stopped.
But I mean, we were all stunned that not only did Thompson survive the brutal assault of strikes and then the submission, but he actually ended the round on top. He escaped.
He did it because, he pulled guard with the guillotine. So once he popped out, he was in the guard. And he started landing some punches, although a lot of them were deflected.
That's a 10-8 round
for
Woodley.
That's a 10 round for Woodley for sure.
Why is it a 10-8 round?
Well, because he did the damage.
He almost finished the fight.
He almost finished the fight. It was very close to being stopped.
So only one judge, though, I believe, gave it a 10-8 round on the official scorecards because obviously with a 48-47 and then two judges saw it, a draw at 47-47. But what a comeback in the fifth round for Stephen Thompson. Was Woodley gassed? Was he tired? Because
of course.
he didn't do enough.
Yeah, no,
at
he
all.
went to town in round number 4, and he was still a little bit gassed from that. And I know that he had powers in the beginning, but what I think that he was doing, just luring Thompson in, waiting for the big shot, that you don't waste any energy. Make every punch that you throw, make it count. So that round could have been a draw, because still Woodley was connecting with some shots as well.
Sure, but I
like
Thompson's just how composed he was too, not panicking after. His life must have passed before his eyes in the 4th round in the choke, and he was very patient and an incredibly crisp counter game. I think the 5th round goes to Thompson. Again, I had it 48-47 for Woodley, same as you. But again, some drama as Bruce Buffer announced that it was a split decision win for Woodley, only to correct it later, which, not the greatest moment.
I was getting afraid because I didn't just pay attention. I thought, are they going to take the
belt away? I agree.
And you saw Woodley also. He was looking at Joe, said right away, no, it's the same. It's same result.
The first draw for both of them. It's the first time in 4 fights that Woodley has not come away with the victory. For Thompson, though, his 8-fight unbeaten streak now, 7-0-1 in welterweight competition, the longest active streak in the division. MMA loves its rematches. We need to see Chapter 2 and quick. This fight deserves it.
It deserves it. Yeah.
What else is out there right now? Other, there's obviously great fights coming up. We're going to talk about Donald Cerrone, who was supposed to be on the card against Calvin Gastelum. I'm surprised they're even going to let Gastelum fight again in the UFC after he missed weight by so much. Not the first time. Dana White said he's never going to compete at 170. But we have Donald Cerrone, Matt Brown now coming up at UFC 206 December 10th in Toronto. But unless McGregor and Woodley go, do some business, which I don't think we will see yet. I think there's the Nate Diaz fight is the biggest fight that can happen.
I know, but can you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean,
not yet.
If McGregor is going to demand it,
he
says, I want to fight at 170.
Dana White's already said, although, again, he can say things and change his mind, he said that it will be most likely Chapter 2 for Tyron Woodley and Stephen Thompson. You're in Woodley's corner after this fight. What changes do you make in training camp to prepare for Thompson a second time?
Straight to the body. He needs to throw way more. Thompson did it to him. Especially the last round, he landed a few straights to the body, which connected. Thompson, when they lean over with their head, most of the time when you hit the head, they move their upper body backwards. Now, he's also great with his footwork, but if it goes fast, he only moves his upper body backwards. That means his lower body is stationary, and it's right there for the picking, the low-hanging fruit, so to say. Start going with body shots, a left, right, a 1-2 to the body, and then a left hook right straight to the head. And every time when you start hitting the body, you're going to bring his head more forward, because then he's going to avoid punches by moving backwards with his body. And that means then the face is going to be in shooting range, just like with Bisping against Rockhold. That's what I said in the preview. I say he shoots straight to the body, because then he's forced to move his body backwards, but the face stays to the front, and then come with a left hook. That's actually...